Good morning, Virgo. Welcome to your Sealing the Timeline reading. We're in the middle of an astrological event that will be ending on September 14th. On that date, whatever energies that we have with us will then carry on with us into the next 12-year cycle, and we'll have to deal with those same energies for that 12 years. So whenever I heard about this or learned about it, I did a personal reading for myself and was quite amazed at what things I needed to look at and get rid of possibly. But after the reading, I thought, I should do this for the signs also. So this is your Sealing the Timeline reading. What I'm going to do is pull 4 energy cards, and I'm going to pull them in the areas of love, money, family, friends, co-workers, and then health and wellness. And these are going to be energies that God, your angels, your archangels, your spirit guides, the Holy Spirit are asking you to consider as you get ready to move into this next timeline. So, what I'm going to do is pull the 4 energy cards, then I'm going to pull the clarifiers, and then we'll have a talk about each topic individually. So right now I'm going to ask God, our angels, our guides, our archangels, and Holy Spirit to give us guidance, clarification, confirmation, and validation on the energies that we should consider as we move into this next cycle, this 12-year cycle. We want to know what energies we should consider to be able to move into this cycle in alignment with our highest and best self. In the areas of love, what is it that Virgo should consider when they're moving into this next timeline? What energy should they consider in the areas of love? So Virgo, they're saying in the areas of love, you want to consider your passion ignited. And again, I'm going to pull all these cards, then we're going to have a conversation after I get the clarifiers. In regard to money, what energy should Virgo consider as we walk into this 12-year cycle? What energies should Virgo consider to put them in alignment with their highest good in regard to money? And we're getting rejoice and celebrate. And in regard to family, friends, and co-workers, what energies should Virgo consider as we walk into this next cycle? Show us clearly what energies should Virgo consider to be able to walk in alignment with their highest and best self in regard to family, friends, and co-workers. We're getting suffering and silence. And in regard to health and wellness, show us what is it that Virgo should consider as we move into this next cycle. In regard to health and wellness, show us what energies Virgo should consider to be able to move into this next cycle in alignment with their highest and best self. And we're getting conflict and defeat. Okay, now let me just tell you, don't get all riled up about cards like this, because the clarifiers tell the story of what it is that Spirit is trying to say to you. Okay, so we thank you so much for these overall energies, and we ask you to clarify each one. In the area of love, why is Virgo getting passion ignited? What is it that they need to consider as they move into this timeline? Show us clearly. Clarify for us what this passion ignited is in the area of love. And we're getting 8 of spring, 9 of spring, and 10 of autumn. Okay. And in the area of money, you showed us rejoice and celebrate. Please show us clearly clarify for us. What is it that this has to do with their energies in their money? Show us clearly. What are you wanting us to consider in the areas of money with this rejoice and celebrate card? We're getting the Chariot. We're getting the Lovers. And we're getting 9 of Autumn. Okay. Virgo, what you got going on in your money house? Okay, in regard to family, friends, and co-workers, what is it that Virgo should consider? What is this suffering in silence card doing in the category of family, friends, and co-workers? Show us clearly, please. Okay, Virgo, we're getting King of Autumn, 7 of Winter, and Release. Okay, and in regard to health and wellness, we're seeing conflict and defeat. Please show us, clarify for us, why is this card in the area of conflict and defeat? Show us clearly, why is this card in the area of health and wellness? This card of conflict and defeat, why is it in the area of health and wellness? We're getting 4 of Autumn. We're getting 5 of Summer. And we're getting Ace of Spring. Okay. So Virgo, let's dig into this. I'm going to put my glasses on. In the area of love, Passion Ignited. Passion Ignited is the same as the Magician card, and it talks about your ability to create things in your life. It talks about your ability to manifest, period. And so you're getting the 8 of Spring. So the 8 of Spring calls us, it's the same as the 8 of Wands, okay? So, and it's calling us to look at the things that we're juggling. You know, we're very successful, you Virgo, very successful at multitasking. You're very successful at getting a lot of things accomplished. But they're saying that sometimes with this card, sometimes you might overstress yourself. You might pull too much of a burden on yourself with the many things that you have going. Because this is in the area of love, it looks like they're asking you to possibly release something or rearrange your priorities in some way to focus more on your relationship. Now, this could be you in a relationship. This could be you like in a marriage. This could be you in, this issue. Could be you in a dating relationship, and it could be you in a relationship with yourself, because Spirit acknowledges self-love as a love relationship, and it's one of the most important. So it's saying make time, prioritize your things, and make time for the love in your life. It's also saying that you've been through a lot. This card is the same as the 9 of Swords. It's the Wounded Warrior in the traditional tarot, but in this reading, this particular card shows something a little more triumphant. You know, it shows that she's coming out of this wilderness, but everything that she's walking out of is beautiful. It's like her walking past it caused it to manifest into something fabulous. So, and it could be that every situation that she's been through has caused her to grow in certain ways. And now this is not gender specific. This is definitely not. This could be a guy as well as a girl. So don't feel like because I'm saying she that I'm not talking to you if you're a guy. This is where they're wanting to bring you into your 10 of Autumn, into your happily ever after. And whether that's the picket fence and the house and the 2.5 kids and, the couple, whether that's what it is for you or whatever your happily ever after is as far as love goes, that's where they're trying to bring you into this next cycle. But you just have a couple of little tweaks. One is honor yourself for the things that you've been through, and honor yourself for the battles you fought and won in regard to love. And that sounds battles you fought, and one almost sounds volatile, but the personal battles, the mental battles, the emotional battles that you've overcome in regard to love, and prioritize yourself. Make time for this relationship, whatever it is in your life, this love relationship. Definitely put it as something important to you, because this is where they're wanting to bring you. Okay, in regard to money, you got rejoice in celebration. This is, sometimes some people say it is about celebration, about things like that, but sometimes people say the Three of Cups card is about competition. In this particular reading, I'm looking at this book because it is in regard to money, and because of the cards that follow. I am looking at it more as a celebration, and I think what they're wanting to remind you is to look at your successes, look at every raise you've ever gotten, look at the ladders you've climbed, look at everything that you've done to promote yourself and be able to gain more in your house of money. Look at that and celebrate it and remind yourself, because you have the ability to continue to grow it. And you do that because you are where you are, because you take the bull by the horns and you go do it. You just go do it, Virgo. And that is why you've been able to accomplish the things that you accomplish, and they're asking you to celebrate that about yourself. Remember who you are and where you came from and how you've gotten to where you've gotten, and celebrate those victories in your life. You're not stuck. You're not stuck where you are. There is no ceiling. There's movement yet for you in regard to your money house. You got the Lovers, and you got the Lovers in money. So it's telling me that perhaps you might have a little bit of an issue with your relationship with money. You're doing well. You have, like I said, climbed the ladder, made the reviews, with positive marks, and gotten raises and all those things along the way. But there's a part of you possibly that is not comfortable with that for whatever reason. It's almost like you feel like you don't deserve it, maybe. But you don't have a problem going for it. You always go for it. But then there's something about you with regard to money where you almost feel like you don't deserve it, or it's not right to celebrate it, or there's some little hang up there when it comes to being okay with it. And it's going to keep you from continuing to move forward if you don't release that. This is of course, in a love reading, this is the Lovers. This is the card everybody wants to get, soulmate, twin flame, all that stuff. But in this reading, because it's coming out in money, it's telling me that there's something inside of you that's not seeing your relationship with money as healthy, or it's something, Virgo. So what they're asking you to do is balance that within yourself, because this is where they're bringing you to total independence. This is the Nine of Autumn. This is where you don't ever have to worry about relying on anybody for your income. You've got it all there. You've got peace about what you've accomplished. You've got peace about what you have. You're very generous. You're able to be able to share and bless others. It says that, and it says to reward yourself for all your hard work. So that's another thing that they're wanting you to do, obviously, is reward yourself. But this is where they're bringing you to, where you have such a healthy relationship with your accomplishments that you're free to reward yourself, free to acknowledge your part in what you've accomplished along this journey of building your income. Celebrate yourself in your money house is what they're saying. Get rid of whatever that relationship is with money that makes you feel like, oh, maybe I don't deserve this. Get rid of that. Okay, suffering in silence. It looks like In suffering in silence, it's not necessarily about suffering. Okay, as a matter of fact, this card is the same as the Nine of Swords. Okay, and in the Nine of Swords, it's somebody who's staying up at night worrying about things. But in this particular deck, this is the Psychic Tarot by John Holland, and it's an oracle deck. And in this particular deck, we don't really see her suffering. We don't see her staying up at night. We see where she has come up some steps. In other words, she has grown over a period of time, and she's sitting there and she's looking to her light for guidance. She's looking to her divine for guidance in whatever this situation is, whether it's family, friends, or coworkers. I'm not real sure yet, but she is at a place where she's not going to keep herself up at night worrying about it. Again, this is not gender specific, but she's not going to keep herself up at night worrying about it. She refuses to do that. She's not hunched over in defeat. Instead, she is arcing toward the answer. She's waiting for the answer. She's waiting for the guidance. She's being patient about this, and she's not defeated in any way. So you got the King of Autumn. He's compassionate, accomplished, charismatic, and gifted. So I feel like what this is saying is be assertive when it comes to what you want. So I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I feel this has to do with coworkers and possibly higher ups. The relationships you have at work, and it possibly has something to do with this money house too. But it says be assertive when it comes to what you want. Again, you know your talents, you know your strengths, you have gotten positive reviews, you've climbed the ladder, you've done everything right along the way. And this right here is you being patient. But it looks like they might be saying it's time to take action because you don't want to have to be patient for the next 12 years. Whatever the situation is, it might be time for you to take action and move forward and instill a little bit of assertiveness. This is the Seven of Winter, and again, this is telling me that there's possibly some feeling of worrying about what's everybody gonna think if I march into my boss's office and tell him I want that promotion, tell him that I deserve that promotion because blah blah blah. What's everybody gonna think? And this card is asking you, don't worry about what everybody thinks. It's also showing you that this skater is obviously on a hard ice lake, right? And she's carrying this little crystal ball. It's like a little crystal ball. It's very fragile, but she's going across that lake like at warp speed. It looks like, she's taking a risk. She's taking a risk, but she's confident in herself and her ability to protect this, whatever it is that is so important to her. So what that's telling me is that in your being assertive, okay, so this is where you've been, being patient, waiting for guidance in some kind of situation, and I really feel like it has to do with work. This is where you've been. And so it's like Spirit's saying, no, it's time to be assertive. It's time to stop waiting on us, or it's time to stop waiting on something to happen or something like that. It's time to move in this situation and trust yourself, because you have what it takes to power through this, whatever the situation is, and maintain that very special thing about you, your integrity, your loyalty, your reputation, all that stuff. In other words, sometimes we think, well, I can't go in there and say, I deserve this, because then I look like I think too much of myself, or so-and-so probably deserves it more than I do. Nope. Don't think any of that. You can go in there and do that and become confident in the fact that it's okay for you to do that. It's okay for you to march through there and take control of your future, because Spirit has something really good for you. And but unless you move, it's like it's like, okay, so we're sitting here waiting for guidance. So I feel like Spirit's saying sometimes we wait too long. Sometimes we wait too long to take action. And I feel like it's kind of like the story about a Boudreaux and Thibodeau joke. I'm from Louisiana. So Boudreaux dies and goes to heaven, right? And he is at the gate, and he says, Peter, what am I doing here? And Peter says, well, you died, Boudreaux. And Thibodeau says, yeah, you died, Boudreaux. And Boudreaux says, well, I shouldn't have died. I was on the roof, and it had flooded, and he was on the roof because it had flooded. And he says, I was praying for God. I was praying for God to save me. And Thibodeau says, yeah. He says, and I came by in my boat, and I told you, come on, get in my boat, let me save you. And you said, no, I'm waiting on God to save me. And then 2 more boats came after that. He says, and you kept saying, no, I'm waiting on God to save me. And then Boudreaux looks at Peter, and he says, well, why didn't God save me? He says, well, he sent you 3 boats. He sent you 3 boats, Boudreaux. Why didn't you get in them? So, it's Boudreaux Thibodeau joke. I'm not real good at telling jokes. But anyway. Sometimes God says, yes, you have to take action though. So this is asking you to release your fears about that. You know, you've done it this far. You've come this far because of your willingness to move forward. Don't stop now. Don't stop now. Release whatever fear it is. Let go of the past. Perhaps you've asked already for this promotion. Perhaps you've asked already for this raise. Perhaps you've already put in your application at this company. Whatever the situation is, perhaps you started your own business once before and it failed. Whatever this issue is for you, they're saying let go of the past. Let go of the past. It doesn't matter anymore. Release it. Be assertive. This is a whole new ball game. And you have what it takes. Take the risk, because you have what it takes to power through it and still maintain your integrity, your loyalty, all that stuff. So yeah, when it comes to family relationships and coworkers, I think this has to do with more of like the coworker area of it, and they want you to power through. Take that next step. Health and wellness, we got conflict and defeat. This would be a card that I would worry about if I were you on the other side. But I know Spirit, and he doesn't want us worrying, which is probably why you got this card. So the first thing that first card that came out is this card. And it's funny how all this plays into the same thing, really. It's almost like in every relationship, it's the same issue that goes back to each other relationship. And I'm talking about your relationship with money, your relationship with coworkers and friends and family, with your health and wellness. This is what they're saying. You have been self-sabotaging. This is wellness. This is physical wellness. This is mental wellness. This is spiritual wellness. You have been self-sabotaging. You have looked in the mirror. Like, say perhaps you have gotten to a point in your money house where you think you're at the limits, and now, you know, there's an opportunity that possibly you could move further, and you're hesitating. You're waiting for guidance. You're waiting for something. And this is your health and wellness. You're self-sabotaging. You're looking at the mirror and you're saying, well, you're just a scrappy little kid from, wherever, Timbuktu. You don't deserve to be the CEO of this company. You're just a scrappy little kid from Timbuktu, and you can't run your own company. You're just a scrappy little kid from Timbuktu, and you already tried to open your own business and it failed. You are looking in the mirror, even though all you've accomplished already. That next step is there for you to take, and you're just looking in the mirror telling yourself all the reasons you can't do it. Virgo, stop it. Okay? You're causing your own conflict and defeat. You're causing your own feelings of not being able to move forward in this situation. So yeah, it's saying, stop doing that. Recognize it. Whenever you're doing it, recognize it. Acknowledge that you're doing it. Then honor whatever it is about that thought, that whatever the root of that thought is. Honor that situation in your life, and then release it. Back here, release it. Okay. So the 5 of Summer, you're focusing on those things that frighten you. You know, you're not only are you self-sabotaging, but you're saying, but what if I get there and I can't do it? What if I get there and it all falls apart? What if I accomplish it? What if I get the job? What if I get the promotion? What if I actually open my own company? What if I actually get there and then it all falls apart? Because, you know, I don't know what to do about accounting. I don't know what to do about marketing. I don't know. Whatever those things you don't know, it's like you're letting that make you defeated. Okay, so, and whenever we feel defeated, the reason this is in health and wellness is because not only is it affecting your ability to go make money, not only is it affecting your ability to see things clearly as far as your coworker relationships and stuff, but it's affecting your health. I'm going to tell you why. Whenever we have negative thoughts and negative thoughts and words, whenever we negatively talk to ourselves, when we're stressed, feeling conflicted, feeling defeated, all those things, there's a released into our body all these stress hormones that are there to protect us, okay? They're there to protect us. It's like our body, in those negative emotions, our body sends a signal to our brain, and our brain, as the pharmacy, it releases the chemicals that help to maintain the body, help to preserve it and protect it. So whenever we're in stress, whenever we're feeling conflict and defeat in our hearts, when we're feeling fear in our hearts, what happens is, and I don't even mean, and it doesn't even have to be like in my heart, like, oh my God, I'm so scared. It can be, I'm not going to do that because blah, blah, because in your there's an emotion deep within there that's causing this to come out of your mouth. So whenever you can switch that thought, because whenever you stay there and all the stress hormones come and they continue to saturate your body, it saturates your extremities, actually is what it does, because that's meant to help you save yourself and protect yourself, but it starves your heart. So it puts stress on your heart, on your respiratory system, on your digestive system. The core of you gets overly stressed, and then you end up with disease or high blood pressure or sugar diabetes, or all kinds of other things. So the trick is to switch it over and say, whenever you're talking to yourself in the mirror and you recognize it as a self-sabotaging thought, hey, how are you? I don't need you today, and just talk it out with yourself, and then find a better thought, a better feeling thought to have about the situation. Go back and say, I moved myself forward in this same situation. I have moved myself forward from the time I got out of school, whether that's high school or college, from the time I got out of school till now, I have moved myself forward. If you're just now getting out of school and scared to death to apply for that first job, especially if you're just getting out of college, even high school, I have made it through all this time because I have dedicated myself. I have moved myself forward with my actions and all, Just give yourself a better feeling thought about it. It's asking you to flip to the other side of the coin. She's beautiful. And if she was a guy, she'd be handsome. So there you are. Guy or girl, that's you. So the Ace of Spring is where they're trying to bring you. They're saying it's time to take action. I mean, that's the first thing on here. It is time to take action. This is the Ace of Wands. They would not have put the desire in your heart to do this if you were not capable of doing it. Now, are you going to walk right into it and everything's going to be magical and wonderful? Possibly. But if it's not, guess what? That's okay. You'll stumble, you'll fall, you'll get up, and you'll move forward. You'll continue to stumble and fall and get up and move forward. And eventually, you'll stumble and fall and you'll get up and you'll move forward, and everything will be smooth sailing after that. That's just the way life works. It's just the way life is. So they're asking you to get rid of these feelings of conflict and defeat. You know, if you've been turned down for a promotion in the past and that same promotion now is coming up again and you want to apply for it, but you're waiting for some reason, I feel like they're saying don't, because your waiting is causing you to feel unworthy of it. And that has the potential to cause you some health and wellness problems. Okay, we're going to do the PS. You know, it's probably I don't want to say it's my favorite part of the reading because I absolutely love these, but I do love doing the PS also. And while I'm shuffling, I want to tell you, Virgo, thank you so much for subscribing, liking, sharing these videos, and turn on that notification bell so that you'll know whenever I have more videos up. I will have links in the description that says there's going to be a link to talk to you about this. Again, these are just informational links. I'm not trying to sell anything. But these are links that are going to help you understand how the heart communicates with the brain and how to flip those thoughts and things like that. I'm also going to have a link in there for Chakra Boosters, which is a YouTube channel I have no affiliation with, but she talks about how to clear the chakras with, you know, meditation, movement, and different techniques like that. So, yeah, Virgo. It looks like the biggest thing they want you to do is just flip your mindset, okay? In regard to love, that's a little bit different. They're wanting you to take some things off of your plate, or not take them off, but reorganize your priorities in regard to love. And again, whether you're in a relationship, this is such a general reading, whether you're in a relationship, just beginning it, whether you're married, in a relationship, or just beginning a relationship, or if that relationship is with you. And it's very possible it's with you. Okay, so we had a jumper. God, guides, angels, archangels, and Holy Spirit, we thank you so much for this advice as we move into this next cycle, this 12-year cycle. And we ask you to give us a little PS. We're taking that one that jumped out because we know you know ahead of us what we're about to say. So, give us a little PS, a little word of advice. If you have not already subscribed, please do so. Like and share and all that stuff. Ten of Swords. You're completing a cycle, okay? You feel like you've hit a ceiling for some reason. You feel like there's nowhere left for you to go, and there is. And they're wanting you to walk through this cycle and let this cycle end before this next timeline starts. Now, Cheryl, this is what you're saying, right? Now, Cheryl, I heard you. I can hear you. Now, Cheryl, I can't accomplish all of that in 2 weeks. You know, if that cycle closes September 14th, I can't accomplish all that in 2 weeks. It's the mindset. It's the energy of it. So right now your energy is here, okay? And they're wanting your energy to move into this. Overall, that's where they're wanting your energy to move. So you don't have to have the new job. You don't have to have received the promotion, all that stuff. No, it's the mindset. It's the energy about it all, okay? It's your knowing that you're worthy of it, okay? So, yeah, they're ready for you to put that cycle behind you. Self-sabotaging talk, self-sabotaging thoughts, all that stuff. Another one. Complete this cycle so they can start you on your new path. This is the world. You know, this is about completions and new beginnings and things like that. So you're getting complete the cycle, and then you're getting complete the cycle so we can start a new beginning. Okay? So that's what they're wanting you to think about. Look, you're the Empress, and if you're a guy, you can still be the Empress. The Empress has total ability to manifest everything that she wants. But not only that, she's nurturing, she's giving, she's generous, she's wise, she's intuitive, she's all those things. And this is where they see you, Virgo, completely capable of birthing new ideas into reality, of taking something that you decide that you want and making it happen, okay? You just got to flip that mindset. All right, Virgo. Thank you so much for stopping by and allowing me to read this Sealing the Timeline reading for you. I look forward to seeing you again in the future. Have a great day. Bye.